So, let may we move briefly onto this topic of education, which is a bugbear of mine at the moment. I don't know why I say bugbear, but it's been my life over the past professionally over the past 30 odd years. Now, again, the last time we spoke, I don't think. Let's start with really, really brilliant things like your new building.
Yeah.
Which I don't think you've gone into last July, had you?
Yes. Yeah. We went in. It opened. What year is it now? 2022.
Yeah.
No, it opened in 2020. About March, about a week before lockdown. Yes. So we've been in it amazingly. Come March, 2 years.
Wow. If you don't mind, I'll put a picture from your website up on this just to illustrate what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it is. I don't think there's anything wrong with me flattering you once again in terms of your astounding leadership. And I know you and I have both got very similar views about the way in which schools are measured. And so on, but the improvements that your school have made are astounding and nationally significant and nationally unparalleled. I think one would be safe to say. And then if you add in that beautiful new build, which has been all part of your vision, hasn't it? You know, that's you'd be too modest, I think, possibly to say that, but I don't think that was planned before you came. And the school was what? How close to closure do you think that school was? I wonder.
Oh, I think it probably it stayed open too long. Nobody wanted it, and it was the level of failure was actually like nothing I've seen before, and I've
worse than Ash Cream.
Oh yeah, Graham.
Wow.
Graham, yeah. I mean, I might have said this on a previous podcast, but if you look at the GCSE outcomes, which for me will be the only outcome I ever look at for schools. I know there are other things, performance indicators. I know that, obviously, and there are other people in the school that can work very hard at that, like attendance and literacy, so on. I'm all about getting grades, and I'm afraid that's in my DNA now. Because if you ask the parents what they want, that's what they want. They want their kids to get good GCSEs. What would you rather have? 8 A's or a few C's and D's? If you looked at the cohort, which was about 100 students, let's say it was 100, they underachieved against target grade, and the target grade was only the 50th percentile. Okay, so not a particularly aspirational target. It wasn't like FFT 5 or 20. It was the median on the transition matrix from Ofsted.
In its family of schools.
How do you mean?
Not against national, surely, against.
Yeah, against national. Well, if you take, the Ofsted transition matrix, as you know, this is what kids actually got last year. Right? It's a record of these kids from primary school who came in with this, right, and you didn't get in this. So all we did was set a target that was about median performance. So it'll give you a spread. Like if a kid arrives on a 3, 8% chance of an A, 14% chance of a B, and so on. Anyway, so the targets weren't particularly high. That year group underachieved against target by 1,196 grades. Okay, so each boy, on average, undershot by just under 12. They're only doing 8 subjects. So in every subject, every student underachieved by a grade and a half. Now, I've never seen performance like that. That is so bad as to be terrifying. Generally speaking, now at that school, the boys overachieve by between 4 and 6. Every boy.
We'll just put an NB in here for future records. It's not all boys school.
Okay. So the swing is about plus 17.
It's incredible.
Graham, per student.
Yeah, I get that. That's why I say I can't imagine that being nationally paralleled.
No. Well, this summer, back to exams. I'm not sure that will happen. We are going for and expecting fully to get 100% of kids passing both English and maths.
At 5.
At
5 or better.
4. At 4.
At 4 or better, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I don't know of any schools where that's the case, other than grammar, obviously.
Well, we got 92 last year in both.
Yeah. That's remarkable, because that speaks of so many things, doesn't it? For example, the ability of the leadership to recruit and retain strong enough teachers to make that happen. Because as you and I both know, it's not the head teacher who gets in the classroom and teaches. It's the head teacher who gets the teacher in the classroom and creates the conditions whereby that teacher wants to stay and improve.
That's it. That's all it is. There was a reason why City lost away at York in 1990. We didn't have the players.
No.
There's a very good reason why we've just won 11 in the 8, because we've got De Bruyne and the rest of them. It's of course it's all about getting good teachers in front.
It doesn't matter how good a Rafa Benitez you are, if you're at Everton, you're up against it.
Yeah,
really, and there it is, and it is totally remarkable. Now, I've got to try and generalize this as much as possible because the education my daughter is enduring. I don't want to personalize it around her as such, because I'm publicizing her own difficulties. But let's talk generally. She's in year 11.
Ooh.
Now, the only difference I would slide the difference of a stamp paper's width between what you've just said and what I think is that. Talking as this parent, the actual grades that my daughter gets are neither here nor there to me, actually. What I do want is her to be happy and fulfilled as a human being in her life. And the next step on that journey is getting into a good college next year, where she can, not so much prepare for life, but live life. Really live life.
Is she academically inclined?
No, she isn't. But she was. However, like what similar. I'll divert it away from her for as much as I can about her own economic educational history. But she has got her sights on Stratford College. Stratford College, I think. I don't know how well you know, but I think it's superb. I didn't know much about it until we went to their open evening. Every box I would want ticking as a parent, and as a taxpayer, it ticked from the minute it was so instructive to me. I wish I'd gone around that school before when I was a head teacher. I'd gone around their open evening. Every single box it ticked from the way we were welcomed. It wasn't just the firm. Well, the equivalent to a firm handshake. It wasn't just it was real. You've sensed. How true it was, I don't know, but you sensed it was a real joy from staff about being there, and pride in what they were doing, and they knew these little things. They knew how to get from A to B. They knew where X was. Where we said, well, we want to have a look at if we can't do theatre, it'd be something like criminology. Can you say, oh yeah, now you go there, and then you go there, and Jeff will take you. Little things.
Yeah.
Beautiful space. It's a beautiful space, and she's going to do the teacher we went down to the theatre area, which is what she wants to do, and the teacher who she was about to give a talk to, I don't know how many parents, 200 parents or so, and she said, "Yeah, I've got to give this talk for in 5 minutes, but yeah, what can I do? How can I help you?" And we both said, "Can you just here's Kira's ambitions, and here's her history. What do you think?" She took us to a table. She sat us down. Her mind must have been on what she was about to do but she was so interested they don't need to sell that place. Anyway, so, but now they require, the grades they want from pupils are, well, they're basically 4s. But the school she goes to,
is she going to get 4s?
I don't. Well, again, this is in public, so I better sidestep that for a moment. The point, I suppose, is this: that we went to Stratford Sixth Form College. My, what a difference that was! My goodness. We were going to go to Kes, interestingly, and I wish we had to just as a kind of nosiness. But Kes's, the hoops that Kes set for children to get into their sixth form, it is just, it equals the demand that is put on their doorstep, doesn't it? They there's a written test, there's interviews, and it's very much so interesting seeing it from this side of the fence. There are schools that interview the parents, and and that was never the way it was supposed to be, but that is the way it is. That is the way it is.
No, I know the school very well.
I know you do. And I know the deputy there, and he's a jolly fine chap, actually. And of course, it's a jolly fine school for what it does.
Oh, is Perry's still there?
Oh, no, it's a different head teacher I'm talking about now, who is also an Ofsted inspector, who's very, very good, very young guy, very good guy.
What, the guy who's in charge?
No, not the head teacher, deputy head.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I do. So Perry Mills doesn't work there now?
I don't know. I don't think so. But then I wouldn't really know. Great guy, needs to be said. Really nice guy. I really like Perry.
He had one terrible thing about him.
Manchester United?
Yep. And he's from Surrey.
Yeah, well, that figures, doesn't it?
I mean, what can you say? I would love to have been around Perry over the last 10 years.
Yeah.
I would not have stopped.
Yeah, I know you wouldn't.
Because he wasn't healthy. Yeah, I wouldn't have stopped, mate. It would have been sweet. Yeah, good guy. I really like Perry a lot. Yeah. Very, very funny. So,
how have your children coped with your year 11s are they've had basically, in terms of school closure, frankly not enough school closure, I would say, but anyway, the point is that they've had what, about the equivalent of a whole school year almost.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, the government have just got to cancel the exams, really. They surely have to.
Totally.
I mean, we're doing okay. We've got some very, very good leaders, young leaders in the school, Graham. And my job there is to develop those leaders. Really, that's what I do, and support them and advise them, I suppose, and to create systems, and that's what I do. And we've got some exceptionally good young leaders, and they've done brilliantly. I mean, our attendance last term was 94.5%.
Wow.
The national average, I think, was 82.4.
Yeah, 80 something. Yeah. Low 80s. Yeah, definitely.
Low 80s. So, that's now. I'm pretty sure the main vector for that is that we required masks from September.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And we are ultra, and people who've come to the school have stood back in amazement, and they say, and they're all wearing them as well.
Yeah.
Well, yes, because we tell them to, and we expect students in this school to do as they're told. So we've done particularly well there. Staff, we've had a couple of staff go down. We're going back tomorrow. We know that the deputy head, Raj, has gone down with it.
Oh, dear.
But we expect her back next Monday.
I know of no finer professional in the whole of my life than that deputy head.
She's terrific, absolutely terrific. And I'm expecting to go back and things to unravel very, very quickly. I'm expecting a real problem. The transmissibility of this variant is horrifying, really. So I think we've got problems. And the opening up of schools this week, next week, 3 weeks' time, I think I'm not optimistic, I'm afraid.
Well, you're political football, aren't you?
Yeah.
You'll be kicked into whatever net.
Yeah.
Boris thinks suits Boris. I'm not going to say Boris Johnson, the so-called Brexit Prime Minister.
Yeah, I don't call him. I hate people calling him Boris.
Yeah. I apologise.
I've got other names for him, as you know.
Yeah.
I think. We got some guidance from the DfE yesterday.
Yeah, I gather. Yeah.
On the how ridiculous! Saying that they to keep schools open, they're expecting schools to mix and match groups.
Yes.
Well,
combine them. Combine your classes. Yeah.
They obviously have no idea how learning works. Then.
No. It's not about learning, though, is it?
No.
It's about keeping them out of the home, so that all that. Frankly, I don't think the Brexit government have thought that deeply. It's really just all about how it presents.
Yep.
How it presents.
Yeah.
Really. That's entirely it.
They are shocking.
Zahawi, I think, is probably slightly better than Williamson, but really none of them are the kinds of people you would want to steer a vulnerable child's education.
No. Well, the Tories. Never trust the Tory.
Dominic Grieve, I would accept from that. Dominic Grieve, I thought, was absolutely superb, and if he was Prime Minister, we wouldn't be where we are now. But there it is. But yeah, they've decided that presumably 2 or 3 civil servants got together and said to Zahawi, term's starting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Blimey. I don't know. Tell them to stick all the classes in the same room.
I know.
If they haven't got a teacher, put 60 kids in one classroom. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
And that's the guidance you got, was it?
Yeah.
Terrific. But they'll all be wearing masks, though, Michael. If you've got 120 children in a small room, I'm sure you're resting assured by the fact that they'll be wearing masks. So that'll be fine, really. That'll be fine. Because every teacher will want to teach that. Every single teacher will want to get into a hot, highly condensed room with 120 children and feel safe. In all kinds of ways. I mean, the fire hazards, not the least of them. You put 2 in a classroom that's designed for 30 children. If you put 40 or 50 children, you've immediately contravened at least 3 fire and health and safety laws.
Yeah. I'm expecting. Insane. I mean, from what they're saying, they're asking for people to prepare for 25% staff absence in the NHS.
Yes.
So that'll be across the public sector, for whom, of course, we have a pay freeze again.
Yes.
And
pay cut, it actually is, because inflation is 4%.
Well, Graham, if my pay had have kept pace with only with inflation under the Tories, they would now be paying for my car. That's what it's cost me. A car. That's the Tories looking after people.
And we're not talking about a 15.
No, we're not.
Hyundai.
No. That's what they've cost. An M-Power, a BMW, mate. They are hateful. I hate them. It's. I'm expecting. So they're really saying to you. So 75% is going to be about the attendance. Then I think some schools will go down to 50 and below.
There was a head on the radio who was just now on LBC saying that he already knows he's 25% down today, and he hasn't got to go back until the 10th or something.
Yeah.
So I think that's absolutely right. I'm laughing, but it is ridiculous. You
It
will
is.
presumably be Zahawi and his your opening will be enforced as it was last time, won't it? That didn't you receive some sort of admonishment from Gavin Williams for looking after the children's welfare and closing the school on a particular day?
No, we didn't close the school at all, but we had a couple of phone calls and we're saying, well, no, this is what we're doing. We're following, but there was no guidance, Graham. And of course, the government acting the way they do, they have very little authority, it would seem. So we're going to largely ignore that advice. And if we need to close down chunks of the school, that's exactly what we're going to do. Exactly what we're going to do. And tomorrow morning, one of my jobs is to tell the staff that their safe, that their well-being and their safety is our absolute priority, and it is.
It's shot, isn't it? Their credibility is just it was never very copper bottom, but it's gone.